I need to insulate my shop. And this is something that I'm kicking myself now because I'm doing it after I'm already moved in. I know it would have been a lot smoother, a lot easier, might even been a little bit cheaper to do it back when I built this shop, but I was just so far over budget. I could barely afford to do anything once I got this place built, but now I want to chip away at it. I want to get the ceiling insulated and get the drywall up so we get that part done. I'm gonna have a crew come in and do that. But to get everything prepped, I need to get the lights off the ceiling. I need to get the ceiling fans down, get everything out of the way except for the guardrail or the rails for the garage doors. They said they'll take care of that. But get everything out of the way so that they can insulate it and then slap up that drywall. I got to get the truck out of here. I got to get the dirt bikes out of here, table saw. I got to get this stuff out of the way so they can move around inside the shop and to do their install. I'm going to leave the lift where it is. It's just not practical to take that down. And there's enough gap. There's probably 3 or 4 inches between the top of the lift and the ceiling so they can slide the drywall up in there. It'll be fine. It'll work. But anyways, and then I think I'm going to do is, I've got some scaffolding that I was using back when I did the install or, built this shop. So I'm going to get that out and stand on that. I've got a 12-foot ladder that I was thinking about just using that and taking down each light, but there's 30 lights here in the ceiling. So I got to take down every one and then all the screws holding in the lights. I got to take all that stuff down. And I think maybe using that scaffolding would be a little easier moving around and stuff and a little more sturdy than the ladder. So let's start getting stuff out of here and getting everything prepped so that they can come in here and do the installation and the drywall. I got to give my wife credit for this. It was her idea to use the scaffolding. I was just going to use the ladder the whole time. But I think this is actually going to work better. So kudos to her. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I got to take down both of the ceiling fans. Naturally, they're in the way of the lights and stuff. And I got to take each one of the blades off and disassemble the whole mechanism that's screwed in up there and unwire it and stuff like that. So I just probably should turn the power off for those. That's a good idea. So that's that. And then I think it's just Phillips screws for everything. So take that apart and then I can go after the lights. All right, now that we got the fans done, this next part is dumb. So my lights, there's 30 of them. So there's 10 rows of 3. They're daisy chained into each other. And you can do, with this particular light, it says you can do 6 in a row. So I knew that when I had these lights and I wired it up so that there's enough outlets so that I can have 4 groups of 12. I'm sorry, a group of 12, a group of 12, and then a group of 6. These 12 here there's 6 of them daisy chained since they plug into the outlet, and same thing down there. No big deal. But the problem is because they're daisy chained, they zigzag back and forth. And the mounting holes are not, they're not in the same exact spot from one row to the next. They alternate by a half an inch or something like that because of where they're mounted on the back. When you put the lights up, you put them up and you kind of slide them over and they kind of click in place or slide the other way, whatever. But when you go, for example, this last row, this is the last light and it goes into that one, into that one, to that one, that one. And then this 6th light here plugs into the thing. So all these lights go that way when you mount them into the ceiling and all those lights go that way, if that makes sense. And you can't, the screws to hold them up are not, like I couldn't just put a screw the same distance away from the wall for each one. I had to stagger it, and I had to figure that out when I was putting that up. And what's dumb is when I take all these lights down, I gotta take all the screws out of the way because we're gonna put the drywall up, but then I have to redo the screw distances. And so I need to measure, make sure I got all the measurements right when I take these down. I only have to do 2 rows. In fact, really, just the distance from the wall to the first one, and then the spacing in between the light, that's the same on every single light, and you know, the 2 screws to hold the light up, and then the spacing in between one light to the next, whatever that is, that'll be the same spacing for all of the lights. But it's just that first one from the wall to the light, and I know you guys don't really care. I'm just, for the 8 of you guys that are gonna care about this stuff, I just have to make sure I measure that out. So the reason why is I want the lights to look lined up, and I'm probably spending way too much time worrying about getting all these lights lined up in a perfect row. I just don't want them to look zigzagged. As you look down the shop, I don't want the lights to do this. I want them to all be lined up. And so I was taking a little effort at the beginning, putting all those up so they would all line up. Now I got to take them down because, again, I'm doing the drywall after the fact, and then make sure I got all those measurements right. So when I put them back up, I got to put new screws up and remeasure everything once the drywall is in place. So, and then icing on the cake is this rail for the garage door. It's just, see, I can't get this one, if I can't scoot this all the way that way to reach that far light, because the other side of this lift will catch on those rails. So these couple lights in here, and then with the lift in the way, I'm gonna have to use the ladder for the couple lights in here, but this should be able, the scaffolding should be able to get all the rest of the lights. So anyways, enough talking, guys. I know you don't really care, but that's what I was gonna do to get all these lights down now. All right, guys, we got all the lights down, and gosh, messing around with, around the lift and everything, it just took forever, up and down the ladder and up and down the scaffolding. But once I got into the middle here and scooting the scaffolding, that was awesome. That was so fast. And for you guys, it's all time lapse and went by fast anyways, but that was pretty quick. Putting it up is gonna be another story, but, and then of course now, I've got this light right here that's lighting me up, but there's no light in here other than the windows I have on the side. So kind of stuck where you can't really do anything in the shop, right? I'm limited to, well, it's okay because you guys are going to be here and get this drywall done. So then we'll put everything back together and I can get back to work. So awesome. So let's get those guys here. guys, it's done. We got the drywall done and it's insulated, and so that's the first kind of major step. I needed to get that done. I can do the walls later, whether I do them myself or pay a crew to do it, whatever. I needed to get the ceiling done. It's gonna probably do the best job between the two in terms of keeping the heat out or the heat in, depending on the time of year, than the walls, but we need to get to the walls. I understand that, but I think the ceiling was gonna be the first major step. We had to get that done. And because it's above your head, it's the hardest to do, and I really just didn't want to do that. That's why I had a crew come in here and take care of that. And they were here for quite a while. They started around 10 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't leave here till 8:30 at night. So that was a long day for them. But they got it done, and let's go through and look at a little bit of the details, maybe some pros and cons of what we got done. So the first thing you probably noticed is that it's just got the mud and tape up there. That's what I asked for. I didn't need them to do the texturing, all that kind of stuff. I don't have any plans to do that anytime soon. This being a garage, it's less critical for me. If it was a living space, it'd be a lot more important, but in here, I just wanted it sealed. Just get, so we can keep all the heat in and the cold in, all that kind of stuff. I did have them cut out where the ceiling fan goes, and now that I'm looking back, I think I should have just had them just cut a tiny hole for the wiring, because looking at here, these brackets for the ceiling fan mount, we don't need to be up inside the drywall. We could have been over the top of the drywall. The screws are long enough. That's just something I didn't even think about till just now. These cups that are on here, this part will cover the hole in the ceiling, so we're good. It just, I should have asked them just to cut a small hole, but that's my fault, whatever. And then of course we got the attic access. That's all taken care of. In fact, here's the R38 insulation that we've got up inside the rafters there. So it's pretty stout. I mean, it's as wide as my hand can go, so that's pretty good. And then, so we'll just get that piece covered up here. We'll get a board and get that done and knock that out. But other than that, everything else is sealed and good to go. And then I think it looks fine. Again, you can see some bumps and stuff in this. That's fine. I don't care about that. Really, what's nice about this is it's sealed up, and then if I ever want to go back and finish it, we can do that later. But I think it'll also add it'll brighten up the shop a little bit. I know the lights are going to be up top pointing down, but it's going to brighten up the shop a little. It does make it feel a little smaller because, without the drywall there, you could see up beside the rafters, and it made the shop feel bigger. So it does make it feel like the shop is a little smaller than it was, but that's okay. So that's the good stuff. The downside, things like over here, you guys can't see it very well, but because my wall is on 100% straight, there's a little bit of a gap. And normally when you put your drywall up the wall there, you just put a little extra mud in there and that would seal up that gap. So I'm kind of stuck with that for now. I'm gonna have to figure out something about that, because that really kind of, I guess you could say some heat could go out or some cold could come in or whatever on that. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. Should my drywall guy have taken care of that? I don't know. I'm not familiar, with this kind of stuff as some of you guys might be. But other than that, that's some of the bad stuff, if you want to call it that. The thing that bothers me the most is this. This, in brand new construction, all of this, the mud from sealing it up is going to be on the ground. You're usually going to put carpet down or whatever, or tile the floor. So it's just less critical. But it is just everywhere. It's on everything. And even like this is, come on, really? I mean, it's in this. I've got this carpet here on the bench. They didn't even clean it off, and that's the kind of stuff that really just drives me up the wall. Is just the lack of care that these guys took with this. The shop is not finished, but it's more finished than inside of a home where you could get away with that kind of stuff because you're going to cover it. Now I get to go through and scrape up, all of these, like this right here. It's dried enough now and it can come off, but I'm going to have to get a scraper and scrape that up off the ground. And it's just dropped on everywhere. It's just on everything. I mean, not that it's that big a deal, but right here on the side of my bandsaw, it's just, oh well, it's fine. I mean, nothing I can do about it now. Other than that, we're done with that part. So now I need to put the lights back up and get this well lit again, and then get the ceiling fans back up. So that's gonna take a little bit of time. So let's get after it. All right, we are done. The shop is done. Lights are up, fans are up, and at least this part, right? I still got to do the walls, like I said, but at least I got this part done. This I think will make a big difference in the summertime with the heat. We can maybe use a little bit of the thermal mass of the floor to help keep the shop a little cooler, and then with the insulation up there should help a little bit. And then of course the sun's going to bake that wall, but that's okay. This is the first step, and that was the harder part, right? Because putting those 12-foot long sheets, 5/8 thick, by myself, I'm sure I lifted up there and it would just break in half, and I'd be screaming. But I can do the rest of the stuff I think later on. But anyways, cool guys. So I know that wasn't really as exciting as the rest of the car videos I do on my channel and stuff, but it's definitely an upgrade to the shop that needed to happen. And I just spent this last winter just being miserable out here because it's so cold. And when it's cold out here, the tools are cold. Everything that's metal is cold to the touch, no matter how warm you are. And it just makes you not want to be in the shop. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to get in here and work on stuff. And this is why I built the shop, is to have fun and do the stuff I wanted to do. So anyways, cool. All right, guys. Well, I got to get back. I got some more stuff I've been doing in the truck here. So I got to get that going now that we're parked in the lift, so I can get that up and get it done and keep it going. Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.